welcome to Besterday, where nostalgia reigns supreme. I'm Bianca, and I'm the ultimate 90s baby. But before we get started, I have a special guest, and he's been here before, so he's a very welcome friend to the Besterday world.
Yeah.
And his name is...
This is Jeff Benjamin. Hello.
You said that like so formally.
I wasn't sure to say my first name, my full name, my last name, but
like you have to do the full name.
Yes,
like,
it's
that's
me.
like your celebrity name. Like you're known as
yes,
Jeff Benjamin.
Yes, Jeff _ Benjamin.
There you go.
That's me. Hello.
So, guys, before we get started, as you know, Besterday is a podcast where we reminisce on the songs that had your heart, the movies that made you laugh, and everything pop culture from the 80s to the early aughts. So think Pokemon cards,
Warheads.
Warheads, sock 'em boppers. I was thinking about those the other day. I never had them, but I always wish my parents would.
Me
buy
too.
them.
Stretch Armstrongs.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So guys, make sure to hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram and wherever your heart desires, and also rate us on iTunes and follow myself, Bianca, and Rogue if you're not, and then you can say your Twitter handle
Yes, I'm Jeff _ Benjamin.
Yes, don't forget there are two underscores, guys. Very important.
Yes.
And plus
and just for reference, I'm an editor at Fuse. I also write with Bianca.
I feel like they know you already, so I don't have to like.
Just in case, we got some new fans. It's a very special topic today, so we might bring in some special people. So I want to say, hey, and write all over the place, all about pop and great pop music.
Yeah,
like
and he's also the co-host of the K-Stop podcast.
Oh, duh. Yes, and I also have a podcast for Fuse. It's called K-Stop. It's a weekly podcast about K-pop where me and my co-host Xtina review, talk everything K-pop, everything fun. We love that stuff.
Yeah, sorry guys, that intro was so backwards, but we're just too excited for this topic.
We
today,
are.
So we just can't contain it.
I'm shaking.
I know, shaking in my boots, my diva boots. but before we reveal what the topic is, we're gonna dive into a little bit of what happened this week in history.
Yes.
So on April 9th, 1987, the classic, timeless, iconic Jesse McCartney was born.
Wow,
Yes.
you really started with probably the biggest event
I know.
in pop culture history.
Seriously.
That happened on April 9th,
Yeah,
I think.
a star was born on that day.
A star was born. Jesse McCartney.
Yes.
He had some really good songs. There was remember he had this one really good funk song. I forget its name. It was called it was on his Technicolor album or something.
I only know Beautiful Souls.
We were playing that before
yeah,
too.
we were.
Yeah. Well, that's not the worst song to go to. But he has some good stuff.
How many albums did he have?
I think he has at least 2.
Oh.
At least.
Okay, I have to do my research on Sir McCartney. not the Sir Paul, like the Sir Jesse McCartney. Yes. And also on April 9th, but in 2012, this one makes me really sad. J-Lo and Mark Anthony, they got divorced.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were together for 7 years.
Right. I mean, they had the twins. I really thought they were going to make it. I really thought J-Lo had it figured out. I was thinking about him recently too because I was working on a piece called Artists You Didn't Know That Were Charged with Tax Evasion. And Mark Anthony is one of them.
Really?
Yeah. He got it figured out.
Oh
Don't
my
worry.
gosh.
But yeah, and then I started thinking about him and J-Lo and their twins and everything, and I was like, well.
I know, but it seems like they have a good co-parenting
I
situation.
think they do. I think they're cool with it. And they've sung with each other and recorded more stuff together.
Yeah, they're fine.
Cool.
I just miss them as a couple.
I do too. It was right.
Yeah.
I felt like it was right.
Oh, man. R.I.P. Jay. Do they have a couple nickname? Jay Anthony?
Jay Anthony.
I don't know.
J-Lo Anthony. No, I don't think
know.
so.
Okay.
They're beyond that.
All right, moving on. April 10th, 1970, the Beatles broke up.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't born, but I'm sure that was a very heartbreaking time back in the day.
Yeah. And it's interesting that I feel like nowadays no one if you're that big of an act, you don't really formally announce a breakup,
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't imagine One Direction being just having a press conference being we're breaking up. I don't know. Maybe what am I talking about? I'm
well,
this
they
happens.
kind of did. I mean,
They're
it wasn't
gonna-
at a official press conference thing, but I think they Well, they hinted at it in an interview.
They said this is our last performance, right? So for
like
a while, but they think they're coming back. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Who knows with them?
We'll see. Very interesting.
Yeah. And on April 10th as well, 1984, it was Mandy Moore's birthday.
Aww. Mandy.
I was just about to break out in song.
Why
do I always sing on this podcast?
That's great. I'm ready to sing. I'm ready to belt later. And no, Mandy, I mean, well, didn't she say she might be working on new music too?
Yeah.
I'm here for that. I'm so here for that.
I mean, she's like killing the game with This Is Us. So
right.
Like she's a great actress, but I want her to come back to music.
Yeah. Her last album, I don't know if you listened to it, was called, I think it was called Amanda Lee was the album. And there was this really good song on it. It was like independent release, whatever. I don't know if a lot of people listened, but there was a really good song called I Could Break Your Heart Any Day of the Week. Ooh. It was so fun, so happy. I don't know. I miss her. I want her to do some pop.
Yeah, Mandy, if you're listening, we are waiting for your return, girl.
Yes. And a lot of people did listen to that album, if you are listening. I swear.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. And also on April 10th, 2009, April 10th was a big day in history. Parks and Rec premiered on NBC. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember not loving the first season. I don't think a lot of people did.
No, because it was very slow and kind of awkward.
Yeah, and they had that terrible male lead.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
What was his name?
I don't remember. He was the only one who got cut.
Yeah. Oh my, that's why he's like a non-factor.
Yeah. And then I remember I was like, oh, okay, season 2's here. I'll give it another shot. Yeah. And I loved it. Yeah. But season 1, yeah, wow. So fascinating.
Classic show. And on April 12th, 1987, Brendon Urie of Panic at the Disco was also born.
Wow.
I have many celebrity crushes, but he is one of them.
Really?
Yeah, he's so cute. Of course, we have, I think at Fuse, we have like a special place in our hearts for Brendon Urie.
Of course.
We talk about him all the time.
We do. I mean, I always love Panic at the Disco, too.
Yeah, same.
And the last surviving member.
I know.
Brendon Urie.
And he just got announced he's going to be in Kinky Boots, too. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's going to be in town for a while.
Yeah.
I'll have to go find him.
Maybe we could get him in the Fuse offices. Hey. Just putting that into the universe. And, okay, on April 12th, again, 1992, Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz were divorced. A lot of divorces and birthdays going on this month.
A lot of breakups and birthdays. Yes. Love it, though.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't together for a long time. I mean, they had Zoe, but I think after she was born.
Right. Zoe.
Yeah.
My least favorite character on Big Little Lies.
Same. I think she's
finally.
So, like very
played out, stereotypical.
Yeah, like the hippie mom, like trying to be cool with the teens.
And all her lines are so cringeworthy. She's like, my daughter would never unconsentingly put her hands on. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, my roommate's all like, she's everyone's favorite character. What are you talking about? I'm like, okay, so thank goodness I found you.
No, my favorite is wait, what's Reese's character?
Oh, Madeline?
Madeline. I like Madeline.
I think I like Celeste the most. Nicole Kidman.
Celeste is just like, I feel like, what episode are you on? I don't want to like
yeah,
say
don't
too
spoil
much.
anything. I'm only on episode, I think I need to, I just finished 5.
Okay, but I'm not going to say what happens, but towards the end, you'll like root for her even more.
Ooh, yeah. I'm ready.
Yes. Guys, if you haven't watched Big Little Lies, please do. It's such a great show.
I have a feeling we're going to be talking about that like in like 10 years.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Oh my God, remember Big Little Lies?
Yeah, it was such a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So last up, April 14th, 1990, and Live in Color premiered on Fox.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's where J-Lo, she got like her big break as one of the Flag Girls.
Yeah. April 14th, my mom's birthday.
Oh, happy early birthday to your mom.
Thank you. I mean,
Mama Benjamin.
Yes. She says thank you.
She says thank you. I hope she's listening.
I hope so too. Hey, Mom.
Okay, we're going to move on to some nostalgic news. So first up, which is really cool, the new Pokemon movie trailer dropped.
Yeah.
And you actually wrote about this. I was reading your article.
I did.
Earlier.
I wrote about it on FuseTV.
FuseTV, where all the hot fire nostalgic news is.
Hey. Yeah, well, I didn't even realize this, but this is the 20th Pokemon movie like that they've created.
They've been doing this for almost as long as I've been born.
I can't believe it. Like it's I mean, I think everyone in America at least remember, if you were, into this stuff, remembers when that first, or if you were alive, I should say, when that first movie came out, because Pokemon was the biggest thing at the moment. And then, the movie happened and it was like major. And apparently, I mean, I don't think all the movies got American releases.
No, I think it's more, more so in Japan.
Right.
They have like a even bigger following over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is the latest one, and it looks pretty crazy. Yeah. There's a new Pokemon in it.
Like, mind blown. They're always like releasing really dope Pokemon. I was gonna say Pokemon, but no, Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a new one that like people didn't know about apparently, and it's you can end up finding it in the game. It's crazy. Oh my god! I tell you,
Pokemon fans are shook.
They are shook. We're all shook. Come on.
Yeah, and the movie is going to be it's only going to be released in Japan on July 15th.
But so. I even wrote this in the article. I think given the whole Pokemon Go phenomenon, I feel like they can't not capitalize.
Yeah, because it's such like a huge moment in our like childhood. It's like they have to share the wealth. Like, don't just release it in Japan.
I think we're gonna see something. I think we're gonna keep seeing it more. If Pokemon Go and all that stuff keeps staying so popular, like I think we're gonna
Yeah, guys, hashtag Besterday. Let us know if you want to see the Pokemon release in the U.S. All right, so next up, this one is really exciting for me. Fear Factor is going to be rebooted.
Thank God.
No, honestly, thank God. It's such a great show, and I feel like it didn't get its like fair due.
What?
Because like I don't know, I'm a very like strange person. Like I love seeing people get grossed out by like the tarantula eating contest or like being flown out of a airplane like how many feet in the air. Like I think that stuff is cool.
That was never my thing, but I'm happy for you. I'm
Thanks.
Curious to hear more details. Like what else? Or like
okay, so it's going to be hosted by Ludacris, and he's also executive producing it. But
is it going to be any different though? Are they going to like?
It's actually going to be different. So the original Fear Factor was known more for like its like gross challenges,
right?
But this one is going to be more catered to like the new generation, and have more like millennial-esque challenges, like being jetted out of an airplane on your couch, and like being like what was other things that I read? Like being waterlogged.
Like going to like walk up to someone like naked or something.
Yeah, it's just like weird like things that like I guess like teens and like young adults would like. Yeah, so like, another example is like waterlogging personal cell phones. So it's like things that will like make us tick and like make us freak out.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not going to be what we've always known as Fear Factor to be, but
okay, then that's kind of cool. I was thinking they were just going to bring back all like the gross
no, I think
stuff.
they're going to let that go and just focus on like the fear-inducing challenges.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I would love to see too is like kind of like even like the social fear of it all, like needing to like I don't know if this is what that new Lindsay Lohan show is going to be. Did you guys talk?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I forgot the name of it, but she's going to like...
called like The Social Experiment or something, or Unsocial with Lindsay Lohan. But doing things like that would make people like cringe, like in terms of awkwardness or in terms of like anxiety in that way. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be premiering on May 30th, so fairly soon. So I'll be tuning into the first episode to see like how it is.
I'll check it out. It out. Fear Factor.
Good.
It's back so with Ludacris on board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's still being booked, you know? Like
him and his abs,
yeah. All right, next up, Tamagotchis are back.
Whoa.
Yes, so much nostalgia. My head is exploding. So I didn't realize Tamagotchis were so old. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary this year.
Right.
It's crazy.
It really is. And I think like the point is that this is another story I wrote on FuseTV, and it's about I don't actually think Tamagotchis themselves or the company or the idea ever left, because I think it's an app, or someone recently brought to my attention that there's an app, a Tamagotchi app for like 99 cents. So you gotta pay.
I'm like looking on my phone right now to see if this is.
I'll continue with the lowdown because it's the originals coming back, the original Tamagotchis.
Okay.
So like literally those ones with like the little picture pixels that had 3 buttons that like.
Oh, I hate those 3 buttons. They were so hard to use.
Right, exactly.
Oh, wait, yeah, right. There is an app called Tamagotchi Classic for 99 cents.
Oh, and it's a classic one.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Cool.
So maybe they did take a break. But yeah, they're here. They're back. They'll probably die in a week like mine always did. And
I know. I was a horrible parent.
I was a terrible parent.
Oh, my poor Tamagotchis. They always died.
My poor babies. Yes, but I don't know about you. I was obsessed with those things. I mean, that was really exciting.
I wasn't more like, I mean, I had Tamagotchis, but I was more of like, well, it's not like a toy, but like a Beanie Baby. Oh. Because you know how people collected Tamagotchis or they collected Beanie Babies? I was a Beanie Baby girl.
I collected Beanie Babies as well. Yeah, we loved them. My grandma like literally made this like little house out of like fabric, you know, that we like stuck all the Beanie Babies in. Oh, but yeah, I only had one Tamagotchi. But lots of Beanie Babies.
Same. I had a whole hammock full of Beanie Babies. Oh. I remember crying because we sold them all at like our backyard sale, and like my mom was like, you have to get rid of these, they're collecting dust.
I thought you were gonna say you went to like one of those collector shows and like made a bank and like paid for college with them.
Oh my god, I wish I'd done that. That was such a smart idea. I could have like paid my student loans off by now.
Seriously. Sorry to bring up
I know it's very, very triggering. But speaking of triggering, this might be triggering for some people who are reality show fans. But I'm very excited about this. Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt, a.k.a. Spidey, they're having a baby.
Wow. True love does exist.
Yes.
It's true.
I feel like you're low-key shading them. But
you know what? This is actually very relevant. I was doing some spring cleaning yesterday, and I found like old magazines, not old, but like old magazines that I'd kept. And for some reason, I had to buy the People magazine where Heidi Montag detailed her whole, 10 plastic surgeries in one day. So if you had talked to me hours before I had done this, I would have been like, okay, good for them. But like, I just don't know if they're mentally stable. I mean, there are definitely worse parents out there, but are they? I really hope they're in the right place to bring a child into the world. They've been a little quieter as of lately, and you know, Spencer Pratt has some cool commentary on the world.
If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, Spencer Pratt and I are Twitter besties.
Yeah,
so we
literally.
talk all the time.
All the time.
And like, so like
he should be on here. What am I doing here?
He
should be your Besterday co-host. Call him up.
I should. That's like on my agenda. Like I really want to talk to him because like we just click. I think we click.
I think
and like
you do.
I follow him on Snapchat as well, and they seem a lot more down to earth than they were like back then.
Okay, good.
Like he takes like jujitsu classes. And, like Heidi makes dinner for them. They go on runs on the beach in Santa Barbara, California. Like they're just like a regular couple. They have like 4 dogs. Yeah.
Okay, so if they've kept 4 dogs alive, I think they can keep a child alive. And I hear they're past their days of buying thousands of dollars worth of crystals.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, those days. I mean, Spencer, he just he like collaborated with some company to like form his own like crystal collection that people can buy.
Okay, so he's not he's
still about that crystal life. Crystals, not that other crystal, but like actual crystals that heal you.
Yes.
But yeah.
Supposedly heal you.
Allegedly. But yeah, I'm happy for them, guys. Hashtag Besterday. Let us know if you're also happy. If you even if you watch like The Hills, like share with us like some memories that you had of Spidey back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I need to like take a breath here because I just need to gather my thoughts.
Same.
All right.
Do some yoga.
So today, I mean Jeff Benjamin. I keep calling by your full name, but he is a huge Christina fan, and I feel like you're one of the Christina experts.
I hope so.
Which is why I brought you back to the podcast because we're celebrating all things Christina.
Yes.
Say
for no particular reason, even
just because. I mean, every day should be a day of celebration for
That's
Xtina.
True. It is in my house. Yes.
I'm sure it is. But in the past, we've had appreciation episodes for B2K and Sing, Britney Spears, Aaliyah, and I asked you guys on Twitter what I should do next, and like everyone was like, Christina Aguilera. I was like, okay, don't bite my head off. But we're here. We're here now. We're doing it. I'm so excited.
Yes, I hope we do it justice for Bionic. And we will we will hopefully do you guys proud.
Yes. So just before we get into it, we're actually just going to focus on her early days. So we're going to do the self-titled album and then also Stripped. So those are like the two that we're going to focus on.
Yes. We celebrated Back to Basics 10-year anniversary on Fuse last year.
Yeah. So like, I mean, when I post this, like, I'll put in like all the hot fire Christina content.
Yes.
But yeah, we have a ton of relevant articles about Back to Basics. So.
Yes.
But all right, you ready to kick it off?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. So, I was trying to like think the first time that I ever heard of Christina Aguilera. I mean, I think it was a Genie in a Bottle moment. Where I mean, I was a huge TRL fan.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that video for the first time, but I have to say, I was introduced to Britney first. Britney Spears, that is.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
Britney
like,
came out first.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, like she's cute, but I'm all about Baby One More Time right now. So I was like, you know, she could do her thing. But you know,
didn't hear her from Reflection though, from Mulan.
I mean,
I don't know if a lot
like when I was younger, I feel like I wasn't aware pop culturally enough to like know of Christina prior.
I see.
But yeah, I was like officially introduced to her with Genie in a Bottle. Did you know of her like from Reflection?
I mean, I that's what I'm kind of curious about with a lot of people is that I think I knew it wasn't the girl who was Mulan, who also sang like the version you know we were seeing on Disney Channel or that we were seeing on the radio or whatever. But I don't think I knew if it was. I don't think I knew the name Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, but you knew the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I have to say with Genie in a Bottle, I didn't know that was once again like a Christina Aguilera, this half Latina white girl. I actually thought it was like TLC's new single. Like I thought it was like I actually thought it was like a soul or R&B like girl group like singing Genie in a Bottle. And you know, eventually I caught the video or whatever it might have been on VH1 or MTV or something. I was like, okay, she's cute. And then I knew what a girl wants was too.
Yeah.
But actually, my first like moment with Christina, my true moment was "I Turn to You." If you remember, the ballad.
Yes.
Because that song, I'm obsessed with that song. But
gives me chills just thinking about
it. It really was, because that was my first time. I was like, oh my gosh, like this girl can sing, and I'm obsessed with this song. I think it's so good. I think it's such a great delivery, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed now. And then I started, you know, noticing how relevant and how like big she was, because I don't even think I realized how big, you know, What a Girl Wants and Genie in a Bottle were. But then I like found out she won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, and I was seeing all these, like, I've seen her on TV all the time. I'm like, oh my god, it's like she's huge, and I'm obsessed.
Yes, there you go. I love it. I think what made me in turn like officially become a Christina Aguilera fan was when I think it was like right before Strip, and she was releasing Come On Over, and then like Nobody Wants to Be Lonely. And I think once that happened, I was like, okay, she's different from all the other blonde pop girls out there. So I was like, oh, she's doing a little something. Let me continue.
Well, yes, no, exactly. And that was the thing too, is that, you know, from that moment, from I Turn to You, I think she, especially when Come On Over happened, you started seeing her.
Because like she was like so edgy. I mean, we'll get into like all the singles, but like she was like super edgy when Britney was a little bit more clean cut, like at that time.
Yeah, so. For sure.
Yes. All right, so we are going to dive into the first album, the self-titled Christina album, and it came out on August 24th, 1999.
Wow. Oh
my God. So many big albums came out that year. It was Baby One More Time, Backstreet Boys' first album, NSYNC's first album. Like,
I mean, that was the era, right?
It was
like
kids.
Those four. My gosh.
So this album, it was certified octuple platinum. Holy shit! I'm reading Wikipedia right now. I didn't know it sold that much.
Oh yeah, I actually thought it was Diamond, but maybe not.
Ooh,
But
go Christina.
it was crazy successful. Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And I remember it hit #1 and it beat Diddy on the charts that year. He was Puff Daddy then, and like everyone was quite surprised.
Yeah. That's like a predecessor because they collaborated like later on.
It's true. It's true.
So do you remember like the first time you listened to the album? Like, did you have it like as a physical copy?
I think I eventually got it because I really liked I Turn to You, or I either got it for I Turn to You or Come On Over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember, or it was maybe, I can't remember, because I was really big into like stealing music off the internet on like Napster and like
oh my god, yes, like LimeWire
and recording it off the radio too. I did that probably before all that. So but I think I bought the album probably when I knew I was going to go to her concert. So I was real. That was my first concert ever too. Was Christina.
You know, I've never seen her live, and like
what?
I know. I'm sure I've had so many opportunities, but it just never happened.
Yeah, and you know, it was so funny. Beyonce was opening for her.
Oh really?
Yes, via Destiny's Child.
Yeah, but still, like that's like cool.
Yeah, and Soul Decision was also playing. Do you remember Soul Decision?
Oh my gosh, yes.
But
all these throwback names.
I know, Beyonce, what a throwback. And it was it was an amazing concert. And the album, well, it was also interesting too, because what I quickly learned on that album is that she redid What a Girl Wants and Come On Over for radio, because I liked those songs, but they're very different in their original forms. And it's very, you should, if you haven't checked them out, like they're a little simpler, not as sexy, not as sassy, like they're kind of like these.
I didn't know there were like different versions.
Yeah,
so, like,
they remixed them for radio, and they eventually put them on the albums too. I must have bought the album early on because my What a Girl Wants and Come On Over were very much safer, like much less interesting, I will say.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that out because I didn't know there were like different versions.
Yeah. I'm getting on, bringing us all over the place though.
No, I love it. I love when like big stands are on the podcast. They could just like fan out.
Yes,
so cool.
Totally.
So the first single that we've all recognized her from, we talked about it, was Genie in a Bottle, obviously.
Yes.
I remember trying to ask my mom to like buy like a similar outfit, like from like she's wearing like the orange cargo pants, like the little crop top. I was like, I wanted that outfit, even though I was like, how old was I? 1999, 10. I was 8. I shouldn't be wanting to wear a freaking crop top, but it was cute.
I guess so. I mean, those orange pants, I guess.
I mean, that was like the style back then.
I guess you're right. I had some very bright yellow pants that I wore all the time during that era. Yeah, and you know what? Genie in a Bottle, actually, that song, I only grow. Its appreciation with me only grows throughout the years. Like, I was listening to it probably a couple months back. I was like, it's a great piece of music. Like, just the piano, the vocal, like harmonies, like you know what I only like heard very recently was like kind of the cool. There's a really cool like kind of synthesizer, like a like it's kind of wonky and a little woozy and like all over the place, and like, but it's like very electronica in the way that like I feel like you weren't really hearing at that time. You know, granted the focus was the you know, or like the piano lines.
Our harmonies were perfect.
That was perfect. Christina, you need some backup singers? But yeah, there's actually like a lot more to that musically, to Genie in a Bottle, than I ever sort of really heard, because like I said on first listen, it didn't really strike me. I really thought it was TLC's new single.
Yeah, because like when I first heard it, I thought it was a great song, but like as you said, like throughout the years I've become more and more of a fan of it, because I'd never realized back then how like smooth her voice is, and like she sounded so much more mature than, you know, everyone else that was like around that time. Like her voice is amazing on that song. Like, it's just like very mellow. Like, I mean, she wasn't like highlighting, you know, her 4-octave range, but like she kind of like sat in like a really cool like R&B pocket. And I thought it was really nice.
Despite still having that massive success as Britney and all of that.
Yeah, and I mean, I love, you know, Gotta Rub Me the Right Way, all the sexual undertones.
Yeah, I only realized naughty. She was very recently saying hormones racing at the speed of light. I was like, wow, she really didn't hold back. No. Like, it was very clear. And I always thought, I don't know what she thought. I thought she was saying like, "Hold me racing at the speed of light." I don't even know what I thought she was saying, but she's literally saying hormones.
Yeah.
Sexy.
So hot. That was like a kind of insight to what was going to come later on.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
So the next single is What a Girl Wants. And I remember watching, I want to say they had like a making of clip, and I remember watching it on MTV.
Oh, making the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, another classic song.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I liked it. I knew it. I heard it on radio, etc. But I wasn't like obsessed with like the person behind it. It was once again a cute song. I thought it was catchy. I liked, so the big thing, like kind of what I was saying with like the radio edit versus like the eventual or the original edit was that they added sort of these gospel-y elements at the end, like kind of like, oh, what a girl wants, what a girl needs, like all those
I felt like, I don't remember what performance it was, but I felt like she had, it wasn't a choir, but it was like a backup singers when she sung. If I could remember it, I will.
Do you remember what she was wearing?
No, I have the vision in my head, like the front of my forehead right now, but I don't. It'll come to me.
All right.
Yeah, if I'll share it with you later if I remember.
But once again, I thought she was not, so over the top, being like, I'm so different. But like, it was a smart, cool thing. And, it went to number one again. She was only at the time, I think, the third female artist to have their first two singles go to number one. Like, and she followed Mariah Carey. Yeah, and Lady Gaga was the only one to do it next after that. Wow. Like, it's, she was doing so, and she was doing better than Britney on the charts too, which is, I don't want to keep bringing up Britney. I mean,
they're in the same like class, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, I don't know if you guys brought up Christina so much on the Britney episode, but I just need to let everyone know what was going on at the time because it's true. She was doing so great.
All right, so we're gonna go to "I Turn to You."
Yes,
the
most
beautiful
important
ballad.
one. Yes.
I just remember her like walking. I mean, she was lost in the rain. She's singing about it, but like she was like walking.
She's lost in the rain.
And, her beautiful like blonde hair and blue eyes was just like contrasting her black trench coat. I was like, oh yes, girl, work that umbrella. Like,
it's true. Yeah,
it was so good.
I know, and I don't know what it is about that song, but I just love it so much. And it was just such a beautiful song, and like. I don't know, just like the way it kept progressing and, the very, not that the production is even that interesting or anything like that.
But I think her vocals, like I like that the production is not so complicated because her vocals carry the entire track.
Yes. Oh my gosh, 100%. Yeah. And then, especially, when it gets to the bridge or it starts like getting, more exciting. It starts like kind of, she kind of jumps ahead on that second chorus and it goes to the bridge and it's just this very beautiful, epic sort of thing. And, I just, that's the song that really made me a fan. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love talent and I love and that's the stuff I like really grew up with too. So it was really exciting for me to like find her, and then I just kept finding more and more things to love about her, just as an artist and things like that too.
I think it was a great example for people to for her to showcase like, yes bitch, I could sing my ass off, and this is just like the perfect example.
And it didn't go to number one. I think it went to like number 3, but it was still everywhere, I feel like. And and it was the right move, I feel like, at the time too, to be like, yes, bitch, I can sing.
So next up is "Come On Over."
Yes, which just solidified.
Come on over, babe. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, this song for me, it just solidified everything.
Yes.
Like I remember, I mean, gosh, like this is how much like this is how excited this person made me, but like I remember watching I watched MTV making the video of this one because I remember it was so fun, like, and there's that moment in the video where she's like unzipping her like bodysuit or whatever.
Sexuality.
Right, once again, very on the nose, very much there, but like I knew the song or whatever, but then like I she had this new, once again, a new remix to it, and I was like, oh my god, I think I literally, once the video like premiered, I think I ran up to my mom's room and like told her about it, like my mom did not care, she was probably taking a nap or something, like like she, but like I was just so excited, and once again, like she brought something really interesting, really fun, really like exciting, something just so very exciting to me, just as like a new young pop and music fan. And then like just and then once again the vocals were there 100%. So many belts, so many fun things at the end. And once again, she just didn't look like anyone I was seeing out there, at the time.
That's when she was like branching out and like doing her own. Like she had like the belly ring.
Oh,
like,
yeah, the body glitter.
Yeah,
and body
like she put the highlights in her hair.
Yeah, the extensions were out of control. And, I didn't even love every look, but I was still just so intrigued. I was like, what are those pigtails doing in your hair? Those are clearly not real. But I was just like, I'm obsessed with them, and there was just so many fun things to see. And especially, I at least was 10 at the time, or if that. But once again, I wasn't, the music that I was listening to, the pop music that I was, very much seeing and listening to, it was all very it was not this, it was like we saw Disney Channel and we saw whatever was on MTV, and like, if in terms of pop music, it was something very new and exciting to me. Same. So I know it sounds like I'm just like standing over here, but it really was.
That's why I have you on the podcast. You could stand out.
But like there was, it was something very exciting to me, something very different. And that's why I think I ended up loving her so much.
So are there any other songs that you love from the self-titled album?
I really thought So Emotional was going to be, and I think a lot of people thought it was going to be the last single. And there was the rumors that Lil Bow Wow was on a remix and blah, blah, blah. So Emotional was good.
You make me feel...
So emotional. I always liked Love for All Seasons or Somebody.
Yeah. I think, out of all like the non-singles, So Emotional is my favorite. Because it reminded me of like an R&B song.
Yes, exactly. And I think she liked it too because she performed it a lot. Is Don't Make Me Love You Till I'm Ready on this album? Where is it on the track listing?
Maybe.
I think maybe.
Edition.
Okay, this might be a
special edition.
Oh,
I don't know that song.
Yeah, well, I remember I really liked that song. It might have been like a a B-side that like fans heard on like a single or something. But I remember really liking that song too. Don't make me love you till I'm ready. Okay. Don't make me give you all of my kisses. That is strictly for the fans. The stands.
All right, so I have to check that one out.
Yes.
So how do you think like do you think that her first album made an impact, like just with the artists that came after her?
Yeah, I think the album itself as a whole, I think, it's so tough because so many of those albums were just filled with so much filler stuff at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the singles made an impact for sure, and I think they're the best songs for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of tricky to say. Like, I think it made an impact in terms of like being like, okay, so here's the pop girl who's new and exciting but can also sing. I think that was more so. Because she made sure every live performance, holy moly, there are some hilarious performances if you look back. She is just going belt after belt,
because I felt like at that time she wanted to prove,
she was really hungry to prove it 100%. And, it was very good for her then, But if you look back on it now, it's almost kind of laughable just how hard she went with that.
Yeah.
And, I think she made an impact in that way. I don't honestly know if the album, I don't think a lot of people know like Love for All Seasons or the other songs, but I think just what she represented with that album became where the impact is, if that makes sense.
It was a great moment in pop history.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of an album that made an impact,
an album
and like the album, this is my favorite Christina Aguilera album.
I think it's mine too.
Yeah. So we are talking about the one and only Stripped.
Yes.
And it actually is celebrating 15 years this year. It's going to be
holy moly.
on October 22nd.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, of course, I'll discuss it again because why not when that time comes. But, yeah, I mean, this album, I feel like this was the first album that I physically had from Christina. Like, I remember, like, I told my parents, like, I want to go get this album. Because, like I said, like, when she came out with Come On Over and, like, Nobody Wants to Be Lonely, like, all her collaborations, I was like, yeah, like,
in between,
this is the girl to watch. And I was like, Mom, I need this album in my life. Because, I mean, I had all the Britney albums, so I need to add another pop girl in my catalog. But, this album means a lot to me because I felt like at that time, like, I think I was about to go to middle school. Yeah. And, like, it was a very, like, because, when you're young, you're, like, trying to find yourself.
Yes,
and, like,
of
you
course.
don't know, like, are these people my friends? And, like, I'm kind of lost. Like, I mean, even though we're young, like, you still have those, like, anxious feelings. And I remember listening to this album, like, I felt she was speaking to me.
Aww.
And yeah, like oh my God, I love this album like so much. Like
sometimes
it makes me so emotional listening to it. So like, it brings me back to that time.
Oh my gosh, no, I mean, I 100% am with you. I was going into 7th grade at the time, and just very similarly, like was very unsure of myself. 6th grade was like not a good, I hated 6th grade, but I think I really ended up loving 7th grade, and it's in part to this album, or I just finally had someone telling me and literally physically showing me every day, because I was obsessed with the websites. Oh my gosh, if there are any like hardcore Christina fans, I was on the ChristinaConnection.net every day. It was my weekly or my daily website check-in. It was a great website. It was always up to date. But yeah, just reading every interview, and just, there was this huge message that I wasn't, once again, not seeing from other pop stars at the time, of the people that I was listening to and seeing in, like, we were like J14 magazine and things like that were just like, be yourself and be confident in yourself. And even if it's ugly, like be who you are, and like that, and don't be afraid to explore who you are, and all these things. And I totally started dressing the way I wanted to dress. Looking back on, I would probably, I think I would co-sign the outfits I wore back then. I was really into like old tight t-shirts, armbands, wristbands, sweatbands, and like baggy pants. I think I'd co-sign it.
Okay, I want to see some photos of these.
I gotta find them, right? I was a hot little thing. But no, I just like really like had so much fun back then. Or like that was like such a great year, because once I was just finally for the first time, like really having that voice in my head, and those,
it's like things are going to be okay.
Yes, and that's exactly what this album represented, through the songs, through the kind of who she was at that time too. Like,
I mean, because do you remember how old she was? Was she
was 21, 22?
Okay, which is insane to me, because this album, like, the topics that she's speaking on this album about, like, some people now in their 30s as an artist, they would never talk about. So it's like she was so vulnerable, and yes, I really respect her for this album. But my gosh, we're gonna get into
Let's do it. Dirty. Yeah, and actually Dirty, like, even though I was such a fan and such a big Christina fan, even I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. I think we were all caught off guard. We were like, whoa, this is the girl who sang GD to Bottle. What the hell? I was like,
what's going on with my little girl? Like,
because like she had the piercing, she had she put in like the black extensions.
Right.
Like she had like that super raunchy look.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is that as a fan, I did see her. I saw her slowly progress into all this. It wasn't like I mean, probably a lot of people in the world, like, that was their reintroduction to Christina Aguilera. Granted, I'd sort of been seeing everything, so like visually it wasn't a shock to me, because I knew she had the piercings. I knew like she was rocking this look. But the video and the sound of Dirty. I remember I heard the radio premiere, and I was like, what? I was like, what's up with this weird intro? I was like, it's like, why are like women cackling and right? And why is Redman screaming at me? I was like, what is going on? And I was like, this is so bizarre, but it was still very exciting to me, because like, and that was the thing, is that like, I was getting, and this is what I think we all look for as music fans. We look for something that excites us and takes us off guard and is interesting and different to us, and brings us makes us feel a little uncomfortable. And that's what I was feeling as this, I was 12, 11 at the time, young pop fan, just like not knowing what the heck was going on.
And she totally, I mean, pun intended, she like stripped away like that bubblegum, like cookie cutter New Millennium style. She's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, totally. She owned her sexuality. She's like, I felt like, I mean, I've said this all the time, but like, people don't give Christina enough credit for like being such a feminist and like owning.
Oh my God. Well, we'll get to that. There was a single literally about the, inequality between men and women, eventually, that we'll get to in a second. But like, she was really, and what I love too is that she always made sure, I hope people were listening, but she's like, here's the thing about like Dirty video, like I was like wearing whatever I wanted, but like I was never like the sexy girl dancing on the side. Like I was like, all these dudes were surrounded by
she was
surrounding me.
The front and center. She controlled the gaze.
Yeah, she's like, I'm the one fighting. I'm the one riding on a motorcycle. Yeah. I'm the one in the center of the dance breaks. Like she's like, I was like, that's so true. And
my God.
As much as I tried to tell my parents about that, you know, who knows if they were listening to that. But yeah, and you know, and that song's the song I only grew in appreciation with as well. As
like
the years
over
went
time,
on.
like, oh, whoa, she really made an impact.
Yeah, like I hear it out so much now, which is great.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Beautiful.
Yes, which I really thought was going to be the song. I'm like, Mom, I was like, well, if you didn't like Dirty, like listen to Beautiful. Like, tell me about all the like.
I'm tugging on your heartstrings.
Yeah. And this one, I mean, oh my gosh, it's just like a perfect classic song in my opinion.
Every day is so wonderful.
Yeah, and once again, you know, I was seeing something just so different, you know, especially as like a young kid, you know, seeing a gay couple being presented in a beautiful way, seeing this punk person with the mohawk and whatnot, seeing someone who like
she had like so many different facets of people
in the video,
like people who didn't really get enough shine, like, you know, in like the mainstream pop world. She like, I love that she highlighted that and she wasn't afraid to do that.
No, it was so powerful and so comforting to me. As just a young kid seeing those things and being like, oh my gosh, like my favorite singer is kind of, you know, whatever was going on in my head about, you know, who I was or my sexuality or whatever it might have been, you know, I was seeing someone, you know, I was very young at the time. I didn't know what the heck was going on, you know, but like when I saw those things, it was like, maybe, you know, even if I wasn't totally consciously realizing it, I was probably like, I was internally like comforted by it, you know, if I really think about it, you know, at the time. And, you know, it wasn't even like, you know, the video wasn't even that pretty, you know, like it was kind of like showing there's a lot of harsh lighting. There was like, but like in the end, I thought it was very, you know, the message still stood no matter what.
I mean, I feel like it's her signature song.
Yeah, like I think she agrees.
When people think about Christina, they think about Beautiful.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think she loves that too. And, you know, and, you know, I remember that's how I learned about GLAAD, GLAAD, because she got honored by them for that video that year and for, you know, portraying gay. And, you know, I think that person, there's a really famous... The person who dresses...
he's putting on, like, makeup and stuff.
I don't think they're transgender. They're famous. I can't remember their name at the moment. But, yeah, just, like, showing someone like that also in a very beautiful light, you know, it was just awesome. And, you know, I just... Yeah, you know, I was so sad it didn't... You know who blocked it from #1 that week? Was B2K. With Bump, Bump, Bump. B2K bump 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 #1.
Wait, is it Pink? Because they had like that
beautiful
feud,
#2.
That is hilarious.
No, it's not. It's a very salty moment for all us Christina fans.
I didn't know that.
I mean, but you know, what song stood the test of time? Obviously, Bump Bump Bump. No, but yeah, no, I think it's just such a great and important song, and I'm so happy. You know, she won the Grammy for it, etc.
As you know, she should. But another song that is I think it's also one of like her well-known songs is Fighter.
Ah, yes. Yeah, and Fighter, which like so you had this hip hop pop song with Dirty, beautiful classic ballad, and then Fighter was like a rock song.
Rock song.
Yeah. And you know, I love that. I love when artists jump from genre to genre and show me all the different facets. And
it was so seamless too. Like it didn't felt like she was trying too hard to be like what am I trying to say? To like own this genre. Like it just felt like very her.
Natural, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, you know, it's I mean, I think, you know, maybe the casual radio listener was a little taken aback, but like I think I don't know. I see kind of I feel like Ariana Grande jumps genres a lot. You know,
she's kind of like, definitely with the Dangerous Woman album.
Yeah, like, for sure. But you know, this was another. You know, I loved the song from first listen. There was like this sort of demo floating around for a while. The fans would remember, before the album got released, and you know, it seemed like a cool song. But then when the final version came out, they had Dave Navarro doing guitar. Like it got elevated to this other level, and like it was just so big. And I still love this song. Like I think it's really fun and catchy. And I mean, the video was when it kind of solidified for me.
It was very artistic.
She is not the same, you know, little girl.
Like I remember, I think she had like, was it bleached eyebrows or was it shaved? Like she had like a very like punk rock look.
She definitely she was doing some type of bleach eyebrows. That's when she dyed her hair black. Craziness happening at Fuse. But that's when I was like, okay, so this is a very different artist, and we're in a different place now. I get it now.
Yeah. All right, so next up is can't hold us down.
Yes, that the feminist anthem that we were talking about.
And people didn't realize, like, she was literally breaking down step by step. This is, you know, how guys are misogynistic, how women should be treated better. And, like, I think people didn't really understand the message at the time.
No, not at all. No one was really talking about this. Especially, I mean, like, oh my God, this was, what, 2003? I think it came out. Like, you know, and I mean, there's so many great lines, like, Lil' Kim, like, here's something I can't understand. If a guy has 3 dudes, then he's the man. But if a girl did the same, then she's a whore, you know? Like, it's just, oh my gosh. I know. It's crazy. And, you know, and that's the thing is that, like, you know, and I remember, like, you know, Sierra a couple of years later did it with, like, a boy. I think that's what the song's called. And then, you know, Beyonce did it a couple years later too, and that kind of got her a lot of praise and whatnot. But like,
but this was like the first. I feel like the first like mainstream like feminist.
Well, probably the first one that we remember.
That we know. Like, I mean, like for our generation.
Yeah, for that pop world. Yeah. And you know, nowadays you hear about it a lot, and you know, it's great. But I really do think, this because this song was a pretty big hit too. I think it hit number 11 on the charts. Double check that I'm right. But
12.
Oh, 12. Wow. Okay.
Look at you, and you knowing your stats.
Oh, believe me, I knew I was checking every week to make sure she made it. But
love it.
Yeah, and you know, I just and I remember, you know, I don't know how well it's grown sonically. Like the beat is still cool, but yeah, I feel like, you know, if she would keep performing this, like this could have been like, you know, another one of her anthems. Yeah, but she doesn't like to perform it a lot.
Yeah. All right, so the final single from Strip album was "The Voice Within."
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah, I mean, my appreciation for the song grew. I never disliked it, but I always thought it was I was like, okay, it's nice, you know, and everything. And I always got the sense that she didn't really like it because she gave an interview once, or towards the end of the era, like in 2004, whenever this came out or something. And she was like, "Yeah, The Voice Within, holiday ballad, blah blah blah."
Oh, really?
I was like, does she not like it? Because I think she liked. Well, I don't know if we could talk about like other songs.
Oh, for sure, because there's a lot of songs.
Yeah, because she always performed Impossible, like the very jazzy, bluesy one. And I thought she really wanted that to be a single. And, you know, I thought Cruise, which I need a moment for Cruise, because Cruise was my favorite song. I think that could have been a great single.
I think between Cruise and Soar, which one do I like better? And I like Cruise better than Soar. But I think those two, like when they came back to back on the album, I was like, whoa.
Yes, no.
It still takes me. Shaking in my boots.
It's true. And then you get right into Get Mine, Get Yours.
Yeah, I was listening to that earlier today. I was like, this freaky ass song. Like,
it is a freaky ass song.
I love it though.
Yeah. But The Voice Within, you know, like it did fine. You know, I always got the sense that she didn't like it as much as and I think she liked it, but I think
it wasn't like probably not her favorite.
Right. Yeah, I think it was probably more of a label thing. And,
to have like that. I mean, compared to the other songs, that's one of the more safe ones. I feel like.
And, you know, it had a gorgeous music video in the end. I love the video. But, I always got the sense that she wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, we could dig into some of the deep cuts. I mean,
we've been
spending... just like... We could honestly spend like a whole hour.
I know.
Like, it's just so good.
I know. I feel like I've already like overstayed my welcome here. No, hopefully everyone's having a good time. But I mean, literally, like, I mean, I'll even say like the intros and the strip part too.
Sorry, you can't define me.
Yeah,
sorry,
I think that's a great song. I just love the pounding piano. I just love the message. It really clearly like made it very clear, you know. And it's just very relatable, you know. She's saying like, sorry, I'm not this. And it's almost like, it's that kind of almost self-doubt that like you have to say like, she's not saying sorry, but she is.
Yeah, because it's like she has to vocalize it for people to know, like,
right.
Yeah,
it makes it almost a little more like digestible, but like, why should it be? I don't know. It's like really interesting. I always thought that she would use the word sorry, but I loved it.
And also Loving Me For Me. I think that's one of her most like tender songs of like in her catalog. I think that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, Loving Me For Me, it definitely grew on me. You know, it wasn't like a standout at first, but like I listen to it like all the time now because, you know, I especially love that Love's Embrace interlude that goes right into Loving Me For Me. It's just so nice. And so, you know, and that was almost like a neo soul moment for her, you know.
She like literally went through every single genre on the album. Like even with, I mean, we're talking about Fighter has a rock vibe, but like Makeover, that's like
Makeover was like punky,
super like Riot Girl, like angry, raving.
A little bit I don't know, even had like a bit of like I'm trying to think of the like even like a Latin flair to it, or I'm trying to think of the exact genre, but I'm
I know like the strings like dum, 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 dum.
Yeah. But yes, and just underappreciated, so funky. Of course, Infatuation, doing a little Latin thing, and like
I am full blood Boricua.
Yeah, I remember she performed that at the 2002 Winter Olympics, and it was like I was like, is this gonna be like what the album sounds like? I was like, I think I like it, but I was just, there was so much excitement just where things were gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, Walk Away is so beautiful and
God,
so
Walk Away
touching.
I can't listen to that song.
Yeah.
I can't listen to Walk Away. I mean, I could listen to it. I'm just being dramatic, but like Walk Away and I'm Okay, like those get me in my feelings.
Right. I used to not be able to listen to I'm Okay because it was just too much
It's so heartbreaking.
It really is. Yeah.
I remember watching I think she had like an MTV special. Like I remember there's like she was recording it on the floor. And I was like, I can't do this. This is just too much.
Right, and she was crying. I totally remember that.
Yeah.
No, I definitely I listen to it now, but oh my God, it was like crazy.
So many
and then
feels.
And Cruise, it really is my anthem. I listen to it anytime I'm about to do something I need to be brave about, and with that I mean get on a plane, or like anytime. I don't know. It really is my anthem. Actually, it's my favorite song of all time, I would say, and it's all about. And this is how I really do take on life. I'm getting really deep on Besterday.
Love it.
Never gotten this deep on a podcast. No, it's just all about leaving whatever state you're at to the next best thing, to going to something better, to going something greater, to going something, leaving it behind, and realizing that okay, maybe one day you will miss where things are, where things go, but like you're at least recognizing where you're at and you're going to someplace better. And that's what I think we should all do. I do think we should all get better. And I think she was really touching on something really big there. And, I remember hearing about that song really early in the process. Like she'd always like mention the song Cruise, or in interviews, the song Cruise was recorded really early on. But like, and to her, I would love to hear her sing that today. Like, just like, because her vocals were very young at the time. And
now she's like, it's more like full body.
Yeah. So, and it's like, it's so sad because she added that song to the strip tour list for when she hit the Europe and the Asia and whatnot. Or the Europe and Asia legs of the tour, I should say, not the Asia. And I remember being like, oh, I really wish I heard that live. And
I wish I got to see her live. Like,
it was a great tour.
I always wanted to go to the Justified strip tour. But
oh man, that was a moment in my life. You know what? Once again, while I was spring cleaning, I found my strip tour T-shirts.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh wow, it's like
you should rock those.
I should. I think I'm gonna turn it into a tank top. But all in all,
such a classic album.
Yes,
and I feel like, I mean, we talked about if her self-titled made an impact, but I think with Stripped, I feel like with all the pop girls that came after, you can hear that kind of rebellious tone, like taking more risks with music. Like first thing that comes to mind is Selena Gomez's Revival.
Right. A lot of she said it too. That strip,
like it was inspired.
Yeah,
and like
I see that 100. I love that album too.
Like Rihanna's Good Girl Gone Bad. It was like that transition from like the perfect like primpy pop girl to like something a little bit more rugged.
I never made that parallel, but I totally see what you're saying now.
I mean, I reference Rihanna all the time, but like I feel like that was like her strip. I feel like every girl has a strip moment.
Yes,
in her career.
Right, or they are looking for it.
They're looking for it,
Because that's the thing, is that Christina did all these things, but it was a huge success too. Like it could have flopped on its face.
For sure.
She could have
it was a huge risk taker.
She could have, she could have, done all this, and it could have just tanked. And it looked like that. Dirty did not do well in America. It did really well in the UK. It went number one, but did not do well here. I don't even think it cracked the top 40. Ooh. Like people were not into it.
Yeah, I remember like the FCC was mad. Like
everyone was mad at her.
Yeah,
but yeah, it worked, and that's I think the really cool thing about it is that she had 5 singles. Which is not a lot of artists could do that nowadays. No, it like had this huge longevity, and so. Stripped.
All right, so I'm gonna get into some Twitter moments that I asked you guys on Twitter, like what were your favorite.
Hopefully everyone's
moments.
still listening to us. Please, but.
All right, so Amari tweets loves from Strip, loving for me, and she loved Fuss. I totally forgot about Fuss. So Fuss was from Back to Basics.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a good one. I love that one.
Eminem diss track.
That was about Scott Storch.
Oh no, Scott Storch. Sorry,
Yeah.
no. I'm thinking Mariah. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Christina and Eminem had a moment as well.
They did.
Yeah. Rachel Brodsky, she tweeted out the iconic Rolling Stone cover where she's holding her boobs with the guitar.
Oh my gosh. I remember thinking that was a little too much. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't show my parents.
That was her vibe back in the day.
It was. That is a great cover too.
Yes. I like that one. I like the Maxim cover. I remember
printing. Was really dirty.
I printed those pictures out, and I was like, oh
yeah. I definitely couldn't buy those because my parents would have killed me.
I remember saving those.
Great memory.
Ferocious_K, she said Christina's debut album was the first official CD I went to the record store and purchased. I had a lot of bootlegs back in the day.
There you go.
Heaven and Roses 1 says, I really, really love the song Fighter, especially beautiful. Black Moon Signal said, weird one, but 2000 Super Bowl halftime with Enrique, Tony Braxton, Phil Collins, and the vaguely creepy Epcot puppets.
I know. Hey, never forget, Christina was the first girl of that era to perform at the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She did before all of them.
Making,
she's secretly, just that trailblazer. Yeah, she doesn't get enough due. That's what I'm here for, to always give her due.
Yes, love it. And Roddy Pie with 2 eyes says, my favorite memory from her early years is her style. She wasn't afraid to use crazy hair and outfits. And he tweeted a photo of her rocking those braids. I don't remember what that was the two. So look it up. It's the 2001 Grammy Awards. Oh, okay.
And she had just done those braids. I think that's where she debuted them. And I was like, wow, okay.
That was a moment.
It was such a moment.
I think what else? Is there anything else that you guys told me? Oh yeah, the entire strip era. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for sharing.
Yeah, so many awesome memories. I saw them too. Awesome.
All right, so since you say you are one of the ultimate Christina,
yes,
Christina fans,
I've been looking for. Hopefully, everyone's still.
I'm turning my laptop right now because I have a few questions for you. See, kind of test your knowledge.
Yeah, I told you to make them tough.
Yeah, if you're about that life.
Okay.
If you're about that Xtina life. Are you ready for
I literally identified what red carpet she was just on, but do your best.
Okay, so it's just 10 questions, and I tried to make them hard.
10. Yes.
But, I don't know how hard they are. I thought they're hard for me, but I feel like you probably know.
All right, here we go.
Okay. So what was the date that she got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
You think I know dates? Well, okay. All right, I can at least get it.
Like
Hold on. Let me see what I can do. So it was right around. Oh, you know what? It was right around the Burlesque premiere. So it was November 2010.
Yeah.
But
do you remember the date?
Oh my gosh, the actual date. Maybe it was because Burlesque came out on Thanksgiving. 2010. Would it have been? Let's go with November 23rd, 2010.
November 15th.
Oh, really?
No, but you got the month and the year, right?
Wow,
so
3 days after my birthday. I should have known.
Okay.
All right, well, okay, so I know the date of her album releases, too.
Okay, I feel like this one's probably easy. Her middle name.
Maria.
There you go.
Maria. Christina Maria Aguilera.
Yes, such a pretty name. What was the song that she sang during her Star Search audition?
Oh, wow. Wait, was it A Sunday Kind of Love by Etta James?
There you go.
Yeah.
You even flinch on that one. What the heck?
I was freaking myself out. Of course I know.
Okay.
She had this cute little belt too, her hair.
Yeah, like her little bangs.
Yes.
What year did she accidentally cut her arm and she had to wear that cast?
Oh, good one. Wow. Okay, so it was. I remember. Okay, so it was while she was recording Back to Basics, but I guess it would have been. 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Because I remember, she went to all these fashion shows. She had a cast. We were all so nervous. Yeah. She had a lot of cute outfits, though.
But she made it through. It healed.
Wow, that is random.
Yeah, I tried to make them as obscure.
Thank God you didn't ask me the date she got that. That would have
been too much. What are the names of her dogs? Her 2 dogs.
Okay. Well,
I know she has more now, but back in the strip era,
right?
Because they made premieres and some and magazines and stuff.
Yes, it was Stinky and Chewy.
There you go.
I hear one of them is dead though now.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
That's
sad.
sad.
Now I think she has another big dog too. I can't remember its name, but I will always remember the iconic Stinky and Chewy.
They had moments, man.
They did.
All right, so next one. How much did the Dirty video cost to make?
Oh gosh.
It was an expensive video.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like one of her most expensive ones.
$4.8 million.
You're close. $5 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That was pretty. I guess if you round it, I'm technically correct.
Man, yeah. You are killing this. I didn't make these hard enough. Oh, my God.
No, they're pretty hard.
All right. So what were all the piercings that she got during the stripped era?
Oh, boy. Okay. So she obviously had her ears. I don't know. Do we have to get into the different parts of the ears?
That's
she had above, below, blah, blah, blah. She had a nose, a nose piercing.
Yeah.
She had I think it's called a tragus piercing right underneath your lip. She had her woohoo pierced, as some would call it. Her woohoo. There's one more. Wait, ears? Nose, lip, woohoo. Where is the other one?
It's the one that she saved after taking out all the other.
Oh, her nipple piercing.
Yeah.
Duh. Of course. Yeah. Because I knew she always talked about how she would never get her belly button or her tongue pierced.
Yeah.
She thought it was too played out.
There you go.
Oh, the nipple piercing. Duh.
Yeah.
Classic Christina.
Okay, so what was the name of the Japanese singer that she collaborated with for All I Want to Do?
All I Want to Do is Hold You Tight. Oh my gosh. It's like Yomoko Azuki or something.
No.
What is this person's name? I know the song. Obviously, I literally started singing. But this was like literally her first song ever.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kaizo
Nakanishi. Oh, right.
Nakanishi.
Okay,
Yeah.
so sorry if that was terrible. Like
It's
that
fine.
I just literally made up the most whatever kind of name.
It's okay. How much did the satin thong she wore on the January 2003 Maxim cover sell on eBay?
Oh, I remember this. It went like $60,000 or something.
No, that's too high.
$5,000. I have no idea.
$1,500.
$1,500. Okay.
Yeah.
For someone's used thong,
Yeah,
I'd say that's a lot.
People are into that kind of kinky stuff. That's your business, but yeah.
Gosh.
All right, so last question. What classic 90s show did she appear in?
Oh, come on. Wait. Oh, so not the Mickey Mouse Club, because that was the 80s.
Not that one.
It was Beverly Hills 90210.
There you go.
Hey. I never saw it. No, but those are hard. Those were good. Those are really good.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I had to make these super hard for Jeff, because I know he probably knows everything.
I'm really happy you did. No, you stumped me out. I mean, I didn't know how much, Yeah. Anything with numbers, clearly I don't know.
Yeah, guys. So that is the end of our Christina appreciation.
Yeah, appreciation. The future. Who knows what's...
Gosh. I mean...
What's coming
I'm waiting
up for
this
her?
album. I think we all are. Like, she keeps like dropping hints and stuff. I'm like, girl, stop playing with our emotions.
I'm hearing exciting things.
Wink,
If you wanted to get excited, I'd say you should be.
Okay, keeping tight-lipped here. I see what you're doing.
Yes, but no, I am. I think people will be excited and unexpected and surprised.
Cool. Okay, guys, so now it is time. If you still have your edges on after that iconic Christina appreciation
You're still with us.
segment.
Is this the longest Besterday episode ever? I think it is.
That's okay. Because, I mean, with Christina, like, there's so much to dive into.
The people wanted it,
If
too.
we did, like, all of her eras, I would have been,
gosh.
forever. So
we wouldn't go home.
We had to, like, slow it down a bit. But we're going to get into the song of the week.
Oh,
so,
yes,
so this is the segment where the co-hosts surprise each other with one throwback song. And I always let my co-host go first. So what you got this week?
So I think it's only appropriate that, while I loved Christina, my number 2 at the time was Samantha Mumba.
Oh.
And I'm going to bring up Baby Come On Over.
Yes.
Because just like Christina, she also had a come on over. But I loved Baby Come On Over. And I was randomly looking at Samantha Mumba on like Twitter like the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's going on with her?
I
Her like
know.
website. She never really, I don't know, she was not well managed, and but she was really, a lot of people obviously know Gotta Tell You, but she
Baby Coming Over, was that the second single?
That was the second single. It was all over TRL, I remember. But I still love her voice. She has all these she has a couple unreleased songs, and I just she was supposed to work with Timbaland and Danger on the comeback album. It never happened, but there's this really good song called Personalities that leaked out. But Baby Come On Over will always be like that defines that era so much. Like feel good, fun, very futuristic, colorful music video.
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I'm still a huge Samantha Mumba. She'll still be one of my top 10 artists of all time.
Nice. All right. So my song of the week. This is like going within the trends of like the blonde pop girls that are out.
Yeah.
Jessica Simpson. Irresistible.
He's irresistible. And that was if you think about that was kind of her supposedly breakout sexy moment too. Yeah, that's what I chose.
I didn't chose because I think I'm in love with you. That was like too cookie cutter, but Irresistible was like her sexy moment.
Right. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was that much of a success or that.
No,
that
it
whole
wasn't.
Era.
I don't know off the top of my head, but it wasn't as successful as her prior singles.
Yeah.
So I feel like people were kind of caught off guard because like she's a preacher's daughter. Like people are kind of caught off guard by like
right. Well, and also it's just like it was
yeah.
probably big on TRL and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I don't think it made much of an impact elsewhere. And then I remember there were some follow-up singles like Little Bit and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh wait, no, it reached number 15 on the Hot 100.
It did. Wow,
Oh.
I'm surprised. So
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it solidified Jessica Simpson as like the musician.
Oh no. It was more like I Think I'm in Love with You, Where You Are.
Yeah. And then, because then the next album came out and she really wasn't big until Newlyweds took off.
Yeah.
Right?
That was like when With You came out. Because that was like during the whole
right.
like reality TV era.
Yeah. Huh.
But Irresistible.
Good one. Ooh, now I want to listen to it. Yeah. There's a really good song on that album. I was upset. It was called like Wish Upon a Star Tonight. No, it's called Imagination. Sorry. On that album.
On the Irresistible album?
Yeah. And I've always loved it. It was like this like very R&B boppy song.
Ooh,
but
yeah,
check it out.
All right, guys, so that is a wrap.
Wow, longest Besterday ever. I apologize.
No, we're making history.
We're making history. It's
Besterday
true.
history. This is episode 23.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Love it. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed.
I'm so glad you came on here to like spit your Xtina knowledge.
Yes.
And like tell the people what's up and why she should always be respected.
Yes.
As the voice.
I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope all the fighters enjoyed. All the Unbreakable Flowers.
That's what is that like?
She used to call it like the fans that
really?
for like a moment
I've
during
never heard
Lotus.
That before.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's a little confused
I don't remember
at times.
That.
I love her so much, obviously,
but yeah, I don't talk about that moment. But so
hope she's not listening anymore.
Sorry, Christina.
Love
but
you.
yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Let me know on Twitter, #Besterday for any other appreciation episodes that you want in the future.
Ooh, yeah.
I love doing these. They're so much fun.
Samantha Mumba Appreciation Day.
I think I'm gonna do a Simpson Sisters ones too.
Ooh.
Like Ashley and Jessica. So that's
one. Hey.
Yeah.
Call me up.
I got some ideas up my sleeve, so keep stay tuned. And like I always say, make sure to tag us on Instagram, #Besterday, rate us on iTunes, follow myself, Bianca and Rogue on Twitter, and let them know your Twitter handle once again.
Jeff__Benjamin.
There you go. Don't forget the 2 underscores, guys.
Yes.
All right, so we will see you next week with a brand new episode. It might be another appreciation. Ooh. We'll see. Just have to find out for next week. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.